have a black woman that's speaking her truth the way that she is, with the power that she is, with the education that she does, there's no comparison between Michelle Obama and Melania Trump. You want to talk about education level? You want to talk about job
attainment? I'm just not playing identity politics.
No.
I think Gavin Newsom's wife is an idiot too, and she's white.
We're not even talking about identity. We're talking about achievement. We're talking about the fact that she has a JD.
I never knocked on that.
No. We're talking about she has a JD. We're talking about the fact that she's never posed nude.
Name one thing Melania Trump has achieved that Michelle Obama has not. Go ahead, I'll wait. This week, a CNN panelist tried to compare the two on live television. But Bari Weiss didn't just push back, he laid out the facts. Princeton graduate, Harvard Law, corporate attorney. Associate Dean, Vice President of a major medical center. That was Michelle Obama's resume before the White House. And the response? Not a counter argument, not a competing record. Just, this isn't about race, no evidence, no rebuttal, just deflection. And that tells you everything about what that moment was really about. Today, we're putting it all on the record. If you're new here, subscribe, because we don't ignore moments like this. Let's get into it.
Of the country that happened, right? And the new version doesn't make the old one bad. It's necessary for growth. And I think we're in just a janky version, right?
Yeah, janky's right.
It's a janky version right now.
Tonight, those comments from former First Lady Michelle Obama are drawing some criticism from the usual suspects on the right.
Michelle Obama has some not so nice things to say about America.
Michelle Obama taking a jab at America, shocking, under President Trump's leadership.
I don't care what Michelle Obama has to say, but that arch, as someone who's lived in D.C. for more than 30 years.
You know, Clay, for a woman who has everything, why is she always so miserable?
It's true. Well, I guess maybe there's a bit of a short memory, because here are all the things that the current president in the White House has said about this country.
We are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. Our country is an embarrassment. This country has gone to hell. The American dream is dead. Portland, I don't know how anybody lives there. Baltimore is a hellhole. Chicago is the worst. These places are really bad. In Washington, D.C., which are a horror show. We're like a garbage can for the world. Under Biden, the USA has been turned into a dumping ground. Today, we're like a third world country. Our country is being destroyed by stupid people.
Agree. Starting with him.
I mean, I don't care what Michelle Obama said. And honestly, like, it's really not that big of a deal. But I continue to listen to it because I saw it was a topic tonight. And she went on to say, I'm really digging how people are responding to this administration. And that really bothered me because I don't know if you're turning on other news channels, but Charlie Kirk was murdered. Savannah Hernandez was beat up by a fat, angry man in Minnesota.
I think she was talking about Charlie Kirk being murdered.
No, but she said, no, she went on to talk about how people are resisting the administration.
She talked about Minneapolis. She talked about people showing up in Minneapolis.
And people are violent, and we all saw Savannah.
47 people have died in ICE custody under Trump.
And a fat man like to the ground, 250-pound man shoving a woman on the ground is not an appropriate response.
I'm sorry, but let's not be ridiculous.
I think it's very rational.
She is obviously not talking about Charlie Kirk's murder.
That was one example I gave.
She is talking about people
being hunted down,
using their constitutional rights to protest against, to peacefully protest against things that they don't like. And she's using her constitutional right
to
describe.
Okay, but you're talking about Minneapolis, where we also saw 2 American citizens be murdered in the streets.
We also saw
I mean, come on, that's what she's talking about. We're in a janky period of America where we're seeing American citizens
I mean, Emily, did she mention any of the things that words that you're putting in
No,
your
she
mouth?
mentioned Minnesota, which I thought was ironic given what just happened to Savannah. This is all over the news today.
I think she was talking about the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy.
But she didn't say that. So the way you interpreted it,
she was talking about the people of Minneapolis showing up in defense of their community and their
but they are not peacefully defending a community.
They were very peaceful.
I watched the footage.
There was no need for those 2 people to die.
3 people agreed, and you could also simultaneously agree.
This is a ridiculous. Honestly, this is a ridiculous.
What are we saying? Let's move on from that.
I thought that what she was getting at is that I actually found what she was saying to be incredibly hopeful. She's saying that no matter how bleak it feels right now, that she's betting on the power of America, that we can always course correct, that even if things feel dark right now.
I hear your translation.
It is a janky, broken period for America.
I totally agree with you. totally agree with you. And the fact is that Michelle Obama, for a long period of time, from conservatives, has gotten just an unfair. I mean, they've talked about her looks. They called her out her name. They called her an ape. They called her a monkey. Michelle Obama is
and
one
Melania
of,
spared from that. Every first lady that gets scrutinized.
We're not necessarily talking about the same thing, but I'm gonna finish. Michelle Obama is one of the most talented people we have who've entered this political sphere. She's very educated. She's very well spoken. She's a beautiful woman, and all she's doing is speaking her mind right now. And the trouble that Republicans have, and the trouble that you have, Emily, it's fascinating to watch, is that when you have a Black woman who is speaking her truth, because everyone has this same, it's the same reverberation. When you have a Black woman that's speaking her truth the way that she is, with the power that she is, with the education that she does, there's no comparison between Michelle Obama and Melania Trump. You want to talk about education level? You want to talk about job
attainment? I'm just not playing
No.
identity politics.
No,
I think
it's
Gavin
not.
Newsom's wife is an idiot too, and she's white.
We're not even talking about identity. We're talking about achievement. We're talking about the fact that she has a JD.
I never knocked on that.
No. We're talking about she has a JD. We're talking about the fact that she's never posed nude.
That's
but that's the difference.
She's never had to deny.
And she's never had to deny
Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't recall knocking on any of that. I simply said I find it disturbing that today of all days she mentioned Minnesota.
And the crazy thing about it, when I said that, you said identity, and I'm like, no.
Because you happen to mention that she's Black, and I don't care. I actually think she might be a lovely woman.
The achievement of Michelle Obama intimidates many people on the right, and that's okay. You know what she's doing tonight? She's probably having a little cranberry and Tito's and having a good time, understanding that it drives you all.
She is a private citizen.
Think about every Black woman you know who has been the most qualified in the room and still had to prove she belonged. The one with multiple degrees who got overlooked. The one who had the answer but got talked over. The one who's been excellent her whole life but received less recognition. That's what this is really about. Not just Michelle Obama, but a broader pattern. Here's the record. She graduated cum laude from Princeton in 1985 and earned her Harvard Law degree in 1988. She became a corporate attorney, then chose public service, taking a pay cut to do meaningful work. She went on to become Associate Dean at the University of Chicago, Vice President at its medical center, led a national nutrition initiative, and published a memoir that sold over 17 million copies. Now ask yourself, who has faced more scrutiny and why? Because this isn't really about tone or politics. It's about the discomfort some feel when excellence refuses to stay quiet. Michelle Obama represents achievement that's hard to dismiss, yet she's still been questioned far beyond policy or role. That's not a debate, that's a pattern. And if it happens at that level, what does that say about everywhere else? If this made you think, subscribe and tell me, when was the last time excellence was treated like a problem? See you in the next one.